Hey, it's Alex from BoardGameCo over here, and today we are covering my top 10 unplayed games that I least want to play. I finally got that right. This is my fourth take. Every time I've said that, I've somehow butchered it again. One more time. My top 10 unplayed games that I least want to play. Before we get into that, I'll note that if you're watching this video on Friday, which I guess you may or may not be, depending on if you watch my videos right away or not, by now I have already picked a winner for the Terraforming Mars Big Box giveaway, but unfortunately it's being recorded before I picked a winner, so I won't yet have an update. Expect that update, maybe I'll post it in a comment here, but I certainly will cover it in another video, who won the giveaway. From there, let's go into these. Now, these games are games that I'm hoping you will help me confirm for myself which games I should keep, which ones I shouldn't. We all love opinions. It's something I've talked about in the past. You guys love opinions, that's why you watch me and other channels. I love opinions, which is why I watch other channels. I love opinions, which is why I've bought games, kept games, replayed games, because of opinions you guys have given. In fact, something I haven't mentioned yet, but I did in fact keep Medieval Academy from my collection videos where I tell you which games I'm getting rid of. A lot of people pushed back and said, no, it's a great game, play it. So I did keep Medieval Academy, I did play it. I'll give my opinion more in my next update as far as what actually happened, but yes, opinions matter. And so I'm turning to you guys, I'm turning to you to help me pick which of these games should I get rid of, which of these games I'm on the fence about, and it's time to say, you know what, it doesn't deserve a play, there's too many good games out there. Or alternatively, no, that game absolutely, totally, 100% has to be played. Now there is one in this list, there's one that I'm really hoping you guys will confirm that I should keep, because it's complicated. We'll get to that. But the rest of them, I am totally open to getting rid of. If there is no support, outpouring of love, if you guys aren't like, no, you absolutely have to play it, they're going away. Every single one of these games that does not get your support in the comments below will be traded away unplayed. Maybe I'll get it back down the road. It's happened before. Mage Knight, one of my favorite games, is a game I traded away 3-4 times. Cosmic Encounter, although that one I no longer own, so not a good reference point. But Mage Knight, which I love, is a game I traded away a few times before finally getting to the table. Sometimes it's just not the right fit. Sometimes it's not the right player count. Sometimes it's just not a good opportunity. And now, with that said, let's jump into the list. Starting with Mombasa. Mombasa is in BoardGameGeek's top 100, and it is certainly a game that I would like to get to the table. In theory, any single game in BoardGameGeek's top 100 is a game that I would like to play. Any single game is a contender for my time and attention. But Mombasa, I read the rules and just wasn't pulled in by it. And I watched a bunch of reviews and ratings, and despite its high ranking, despite its high rating, nothing about it pulled me in. Now keep in mind, in terms of Alexander Pfister's other games, I haven't actually played a lot of his, but I did play Great Western Trail. In fact, I played Great Western Trail, got it back, and then got rid of it again. And while I have enjoyed it, while I've played it like 5-6 times, it's certainly been an enjoyable game, it has not been a game that I felt was worth keeping on to. I am super interested in Maracaibo. Maracaibo, for whatever reason, does look like a game that's much more up my alley. I don't know why, maybe it's just people talking about it, either way. But Mombasa is a game that I read the rules and kind of lost interest in getting it to the table. And that's where I need your guys' help. Was it good for you? Did you like it? Is it terrible? Should I move on? I don't know. Ultimately, it's a highly ranked game and one that I would love to play and enjoy, but the combination of my previous experience with Great Western Trail, which shouldn't be that much of a factor, and my just lack of interest after reading the rules, lack of seeing why it would be so amazing and appealing. It felt after reading the rules like it would be a lot of optimization without a lot of fun around it. Next up on the list we have Amun-Re. Amun-Re is Amun-Re? I'm probably saying that terribly. Something you should know, if you haven't watched my videos by now, I mispronounce a lot of words. I'm a huge reader, which means I learn to say things in my head and then forget about it. Just 2 minutes ago upstairs, I was talking to my wife about something that was opaque instead of opaque. Yes, I still do stuff like that, although that one I self-corrected. In any case, Amun-Re, Amun-Ra, I mean, Ra's with R-A, right? Amun-Re. Either way, this game by Reina Knizia is a game that is a classic. It is a reprinted classic. This is the second edition by TMG, Tasty Minstrel Games. And it is a game that, on the one hand, I want to play. On the other hand, I rarely turn towards it when I'm looking for a game that's good with 4 or 5 players. When I have 4 or 5 people and I'm trying to figure out whether to play a new game, an old game, I rarely even look towards this game. I know I own it. I know it's supposed to be good. But it's also not supposed to be great. This isn't a game that has been a classic over the years. It has held up. It has stood the test of time. But not with the most outstanding and incredible ratings. Rather with good ratings. It has an auction mechanic, which I like auctions in games. Auctions, I'm a big fan of them. I like Cyclades a lot more than Ra. I think I've talked about that, but I like Cyclades. But I enjoy the auction mechanic in games. I enjoy the tenseness that comes with deciding how much something is worth, and then being proven right through the gameplay. But for whatever reason, this is not a game that I have felt the need to pull off. From there we go, the next name I'll mispronounce. Gugong? I guess it's Gugong. I can't imagine how else to pronounce it. But Gugong, okay. This is the problem when you just start getting into the YouTube world and your only real exposure to talking with people about games is yourself. But anyways, this is a game that has, it's in shrink. It's the only one here that's actually in shrink. And the reason for that is because I got this game because I was excited about it. Sounds like a interesting premise. It was rated well. People seem to have a lot of buzz and hype about it. But then after watching more and more reviews about the principle of how the game played, it just didn't seem that appealing to me. At a surface level, it seems to be well rated, but for my own interest level, it's all about trading favors and trying to figure out a way how to trade various goods or things as favor points for officials, and then one aspect of the board you absolutely have to do, or you're just not going to win straight up. It is rated well. All of these games are rated well. But for whatever reason, Gugong is not a game that I am looking for when I'm trying to think of which game to play. And that's a problem. It's a problem in general. When I have roughly 70 unplayed games at any given point, and that means whenever I'm looking to play a game, the first decision is it a game that I already know I love, or is it a new game? And even if it's a new game, these games are fighting for our time and attention, which brings us to Lord of the Rings, the card game. Lord of the Rings, the card game, I finally got for the first time. I think for the first time. I may have had it a long, long time ago, but I finally I read the rules. I finally read the rules for the first time, started setting it up, but this one's not so much about my lack of interest in the game. In fact, I am interested in the game, but rather I have Arkham Horror, the card game. I have Marvel Champions. I enjoy both of those. Do I have the mental energy? Do I have the time? Do I have all those things that are required to invest in another LCG? Do I want to do that? I don't know. And again, looking for your help, guys. Is this worth playing? Has this stood the test of time to the point that if I enjoy Marvel Champions, if I enjoy Arkham Horror, should I be even trying this? Or should I be enjoying those games and just focusing on one or two? Honestly, I'm barely focusing on two. I'm primarily focusing on Marvel Champions, a little bit on Arkham Horror, and now I have Lord of the Rings, the card game. Maybe I should just shelf this and get this back 5, 6, 10 years down the road and try it again when I've burnt out on one of the others. I don't know, and your help would be appreciated. Next up, we have Monsterlands. Now, Monsterlands is a tricky one. Monsterlands, I've read the rules. I am intrigued. It looks interesting. But every time I want to pull out a game, every time I'm trying to get a new game to the table, it is either too heavy or looks. It either looks too heavy for my lighter group, and it looks too light for my heavier group. I don't know where this fits. Additionally, at a 7.2, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 7.2 on BoardGameGeek, the rating is not, amazing, incredible. It's not inspiring. It's good. Certainly not bad. But again, I have games that are lower than a 7.2 that I thoroughly enjoy. So where does this stack up? How does this hold up? Is it worth playing? And Second Gate Games are the same people who made Besieged, who I believe they have a second Kickstarter coming out at some point. I'm interested in that. But Besieged is another game that I enjoy despite the low ratings. And the art in this is gorgeous. The gameplay looks fun. It has powers. I love powers. I've talked about that all the time. I enjoy any game that has any form of powers and ability to distinguish yourself and show some sort of opportunity that others don't have. So in theory, I like this game. In practice, I don't pull it out to play. In practice, when going through my list of 70 games and trying to find 10 that I was totally fine getting rid of, this made the cut. I am fine getting rid of this if no one stands up for it. Next up on this list, we have Altiplano. Again, I'm probably saying this wrong. Altiplano, it's probably correct, right? It looks like Altiplano. Is it Altiplano? Either way. Anyways, this should be a thing. I should make it a thing that just make fun of me when I mispronounce things. I should own it. It's very important to own whatever area of life that you are lacking in. And when it comes to pronunciation, I am very lacking in pronunciation. I'm trying to think of a way to make that funnier by mispronouncing some word as I say that, but it is what it is. But anyways, I will own it. You guys call me out on it, make fun of it, please do. Let's make it a thing. Anyways, Altiplano? Altiplano is a game that I am intrigued by. I am interested in. I want to play it. But the reason it's on this list, the reason it's here, is I've heard a lot of people say it's basically Orleans, but worse. By the way, Orleans, I used to say Orleans, okay? I think it's Orleans. No, I don't know anymore. It's Orleans, but worse, okay? This is a game that is supposed to be like Orleans, but not as good. Not as well done. The one merit it seems to have is it seems to play better with 3 and Orleans is better with 4. So I guess if you have different player groups and you still want to own both, good on you. So the reason this game is on this list is Orleans is a game I played once a long time ago, and I still own it and I want to play it again. I need to get it to the table. Is it really worth owning an inferior version of a game that isn't hitting the table enough? I don't know. And again, that's what I need you guys for. Next up, we have Direwild. Direwild is actually a game that was not on my radar at all. I got this as part of a larger trade, and I just figured, hey, I'd get this, and I'd get the larger trade for myself, because there were games in it that I did want, but I'll just ship this off to the warehouse and sell or trade it as part of BoardGameCo. But then I kind of pulled it out, and I looked at it briefly, and I looked at the ratings, and it intrigued me. It did intrigue me. Something I don't even know what this game is about. It seems to have a campaign aspect. There are some miniatures. It's a cooperative game. I don't know a lot about it, but it did intrigue me. Now the question for you, as always, is it worth playing? Should I just move on? It's not that much on my radar. I really don't know enough about it to miss it. Or is it a game that really deserves my time and attention? Supposedly, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it plays best with 3, and that certainly fits my current COVID-19 dynamic. We're definitely playing a lot of 3-player games right now. But should this be one of them? I do like co-op games. I like leveling up characters. I mean, I know this is co-op. Does it have leveling up characters? I don't even know. Is this a game worth playing? Does it deserve my time? Does it deserve my attention? Does it deserve anyone's time? And again, not in its own merits, but in comparison to everything else out there. If I have Gloomhaven, I have more Zombicide, I have Cthulhu Death May Die, should I just be playing those games more? Or should I be playing Direwild? I also have Too Many Bones, Mage Knight, Massive Darkness, whole bunch of stuff that aren't hitting the table enough. From there we have Robinson Crusoe. Oh boy, oh no, Robinson Crusoe, okay? Top 100 game right here. I am interested in this one. Very interested. Until I noticed time and time again, despite how highly it's ranked, every time it comes up in conversation, it seems to be critiqued as being ridiculously hard. Like super, super crazy hard. So if this is a game that is that hard, and to be fair, I don't mind games that are hard. I don't know if you've ever played The Mind, but The Mind is a game that is almost impossible to win. But it's not punishing, it's just hard. There's a difference. I don't mind not winning games, but I like to feel rewarded through the gameplay. If my gameplay effectively comes down to never being able to make it past whatever newest thing continuously hit you on the head and beat you down into the ground, that is not for me. I don't mind losing. I don't mind hard. I don't want to feel like I am struggling just to get something done. I like it when games make you feel rewarded. Everyone should feel powerful. I've said this before again and again. I like powers because it feels cool. To me, powers aren't, well, you remove your shelter and we'll just destroy your animals and we'll kill all your things. I don't like punishing in games. So I am interested in Robinson Crusoe. I've made it through half the rulebook. I mean, that's decently interested, right? It's one of the top 100. This is a game that should be played. I mean, I half review board games at this point. I should play this. But should I? Or will I not like it? Next up on this list, and this is a big one. Oh my gosh, we have, and again, I apologize for the name things, Sine Tempore, Sine Tempore, Sine Tempore, Sine Tempore. I'm pretty sure it's Sine Tempore, but I don't really know. In any case, this is the game from Ludus Magnus Studios. It is a beast of a game. It is often compared to games like Imperial Assault or Descent. It has that dungeon crawler aspect. I think Imperial Assault more just from the sci-fi fantasy aspect of it. But I don't know. I mean, I have no desire to get it to the table. I don't know why. In terms of context, I like Rise of Moloch. I enjoy that a lot. That's a game that's in my collection. Do I have anything else that's dungeon crawly? Like I said, I enjoy Zombicide, Massive Darkness. I don't really know what else I really have that would fall into this category. I don't know enough. I mean, I got it because sometimes I make bad choices in life, and this is one of them. To be fair, this is not a Kickstarter I actually backed. This is a Kickstarter I traded for, but still, sometimes I make bad choices. It had cool minis. It was by Ludus Magnus Studios. A lot of people seemed to want it, so I wanted it. Again, bad choices. Sometimes it happens, guys. And gals. Should I play this game? Is it worth playing? People seem to like it from those that have it, but there's just not a lot of buzz about it. Or should I be moving this on to the next person? And finally, last on the list, Fury of Dracula. Okay, now this is one. Remember I said there's one game I hope you make me keep? This is the one game. Everything else on this list, I'd probably have a little bit of a... Robinson Crusoe I'd probably be a little sad about. I feel I should play that, just to experience it if nothing else. But the only other one on this list that I care about is Fury of Dracula. And the reason for that is because Fury of Dracula looks, by all accounts, it's a game that I should enjoy. Plays well with 3, plays well with 5. I should be able to get it to the table. But I haven't. And the reason this is here, the reason I'm putting a game that I want to keep on this list is because it has sat on my shelf now for 4 years unplayed. Nothing else in my unplayed games has come remotely close to that. Most things don't make it a year. If they're not played within a year, I usually have something else I want to play more and it's time to move on. This has been on my list unplayed, not my list, my shelf unplayed for 4 years. I need to get it to the table, but I haven't. And so in good conscience, because I want to, I put it on this list. And it's now up to you guys to save it. That's basically it. Those are my top 10. You see this part where I butchered again. These are my top 10 unplayed games that I least want to play. See, it's a mouthful. It really is hard to get that right in one sentence. That being said, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know which of these I should keep. Let me know which of these can go away. Any game on this list that does not receive a decent amount of support is going away. And I don't mean one comment. I mean, like, I need something that really tells me I should keep it. You don't have to. There's no obligation on you. But they will go away unless there is support. I hope you enjoyed this video. As far as this week, we have a few things coming up. I don't know the exact schedule. I don't know exactly what's coming up, but I can tell you that, like I said, there'll be a video announcing the giveaway winner whenever I can actually film that, knowing who the giveaway winner is. There'll be a video covering Bloodbound from Command Games. And then in terms of a poll, in a poll down below, I'm going to have a few things going on. So first of all, I'm going to have 3 videos to pick from. The next 3 videos, the choices are, the topics are, ranking my Command games. Now to be clear, this is not going to purely be Command games that I like. I'm going to specifically include stuff I didn't like. But I'm going to go through a ranking of the various Command games I've played and how I feel about them. Quick and to the point. The next option, the second option is going to be why I don't want to be a board game reviewer. Now, I'm not a board game reviewer. I do review board games, but there's a big difference. There are many content creators out there who legitimately review board games, and it's not something I want to be, and I might talk about that in a video. And the third option is how to play more board games, how to carve more time out of your life to play the board games that we all say we love. I mean, we do love, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's, you know, the day goes by, a week goes by, 3 weeks go by, 4 new games have shown up at your door in that time, and yet nothing has been played. I play roughly 750, 800 games a year. I play a ton of games, and it's still hard, and it still feels like I don't play enough. So the third option for the video is how to find time, how to carve time out of your life to play more board games. And then lastly, for this week's featured video, because I mentioned too many bones, so let's cover something like that. One of the content creators I left out of my top 10 YouTubers video is Lonely Man Board Games. This is a guy who has, I don't know, team, it seems like a guy, but he has not a ton of content. But his content is beautifully well done. I mean, beautifully well done. Beautifully done. His content is elegant and engaging and gorgeous to watch. The way he films things, the close-ups, the angles, it draws you into the games. I started learning how to play Too Many Bones because of his videos, and at the time he really just did not have a lot of content, and I'm so thankful to, like, since then I've went back and looked, and he's continued to develop more and more videos. It doesn't have as much as I would love to see just because of how good it is, but if you're looking for the most beautiful way to ever learn how to play a game, broken up into bite-sized chunks, his stuff is amazing and incredible. As usual, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am Alex from BoardGameCo. These are my top 10 unplayed games that I least want to play. It's getting easier every time I do it, I'm telling you. You guys can subscribe down below, comment, save these games. They are begging for your support. For myself, with 1 or 2 exceptions, I will be fine letting them go. Amun-Re, thank you for the joy you brought me, just obsessing over you and being on my shelf. And until next time, have a good one.